Hello, beautiful people. Hello. So let's do the impasse prayer and we're going to have a conversation, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Thank you for letting me take brunch off. I had a family event. So, okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively as a community, we say, Amen. So the first thing that people have asked me to talk about was E. Jean Carroll and does Trump have the money to pay? Anyway, so when the bell rings, I don't know. He doesn't have the money. So imagine the horror when you realize that you don't have the money. Maybe he could, if he were lucky, scrounge up the last of some campaign money, but it's nowhere near the amount of money that he needs. And there are more lawsuits coming out of New York, DC, Georgia. So it's as it was predicted. People were given a choice. They could have cut the head off the beast a long time ago because it was inevitable how this was going to end. But people push their own agendas instead, and that comes with consequences. This is why I said, and I think people missed the point, they got lost yesterday when I talked about why I support reparations if you are descended from slaves. That was the main thing that I was trying to talk about, and that has to do with the idea that the ancestors did not get paid. They did the work, they were injured on the job. The state, it was sanctioned by the state and the feds. They were told they would get some kind of payment. They never got paid. And so consequently, the responsibility is, we have a responsibility to pay the descendants the money from the unpaid wages of their ancestors. And it is not for us to say how they spend it. Doesn't mean that every single person who's descended from slaves is entitled to 40 acres and a mule. It was 40 acres and a mule for every person who'd been emancipated, I believe. So you have to bring in the elders, and the elders have to say, okay, how can we appease and pay what is due the ancestors so that we can have peace in the land? Now, this is a concept that exists in Shintoism. It's a concept that exists in African tradition, like the Yoruba and the Igbo. If you look at the traditions of West Africa, but also among the Nuer and the Dinka, the Chicana, the Maasai, I've been there, studied it. I didn't physically go there, but in my heart, studying it. This idea of we learn from our ancestors. And the gift of our ancestors is that their lives were harder than ours. And so they beg us to be happy. They plead with us to be happy. No, 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 child, don't hurt yourself. No, 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 child, love yourself. No, no, you got to live the good life. Because your ancestors are saying to you, I went through all this crap for what? You're sitting there crying about some boy. Do you have any idea what the heck I went through? We were dying from plagues. Syphilis, you want to know from syphilis? It attacks the cartilage first before it gets to the bone. Baby, your nose is gone. Okay? People walking around with no nose because their boy ran around. Right? So the point is this. The point is this. What was the point? I don't know. I can't remember. Trump is finished. Trump is finished. That's the point. Let's go ahead. And I don't, I'm just goofy. I will confess to nothing. No, I did not take edibles. No, I did not. What time is it? 8:30. God, I am so out of it today. Oh my God. I'm in a really good mood, you guys. I am in such a good mood. Ever since I found, the thing about them talking about kindness and the rebuild and just really feeling, even though it's the darkest of times, and we still have my cat attacked me. People are like, what happened? Are you hurting? No. My cat let it be known that she was very upset that I had been gone. Whammo. Anyway, I'm fine. But yeah, it's still a dark time because the hostages aren't out, and because the people are in Gaza are still, struggling on both sides. So it's the darkest before the dawn, right? So we just have to be optimistic about everything, even though it seems so dark. Okay, so the calla lilies of death are over Donald Trump. Okay. His opposition, the book. They're going to throw the book at him. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you want to see it again? The calla lilies of death. They throw the book at him. Sailing away. Two of Cups. Could be a hospital. And there's a woman here. Could have a health collapse. They could incarcerate him in some kind of hospital. Okay. So, let me take it right. So, the next thing I wanted to talk to people about, other than the fact that, Trump is finished, there's nothing really more to talk about. He doesn't have any more money. He's out of money. It's kaputzi. He does not have the money to pay E.G. and Carol, which means that the feds are taking everything. The fact that there's a swan leads me to think that he will willingly go. The thing that I wanted to talk about is that to love with your whole heart is a very painful process. There's this idea that Rabbi Nachman has, a Hasidic rabbi, that the wholest heart is the broken heart, when your whole heart breaks open. So the more we love, the more we are heartbroken. For example, when a spouse dies, that is truly loved. So to be willing to love is to be willing to take a risk. And love is the greatest risk, isn't it? And so many people choose to not love. But the truth of the matter is there's a lot of people out there that would love us if we would simply not be hiding, Love is Blind is a really nice experiment because two people just talk and you don't know what they look like, you don't know anything about them. It's just two human beings connecting, and it's a beautiful experiment. And in Victorian times, people would write letters and they would get to know one another. I have a few pen pals. Occasionally you get fake people, but you weed through it, and I've met some great people that way. One of my pen pals actually moved to San Francisco, Ahmed. I think I showed you guys pictures. So, not a romantic connection, of course, but a buddy, right? So, but the point is that when we extend ourselves, even if we love an imperfect person, it still counts in the spiritual realm because you loved someone. You see, and by loving somebody, particularly if it's love, excuse me, without an agenda, then you're going to be transformed. Whether it's saying, okay, I'm going to go into a war zone because I can't abandon my friends in Israel. You know, when you make those kinds of high-minded choices, good things come of it. That doesn't mean your heart won't be broken. And we love because we are human beings and we have the capacity to love, and because we desperately want to love. And it's okay to love imperfect people. We are imperfect. We're all imperfect. And by love and through love, we are given grace and allowed forgiveness and the space to grow, right? All right, thank you all. Thank you so much for your love and support. If you're trying to get in for a reading, check the information below this channel. Be kind to all so that all can be kind to you too. Take care. Good night, everyone.